Hello, I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week. Now, with hydrangeas, I'd like to go through a bunch of the hydrangeas because there are 6 different groups of hydrangeas and give you some of the varieties that perform well in gardens here in Ontario and are available, which is always important, so that you're not going looking for something very unusual or things that aren't proven winners in your garden. Let's start with some of the Annabelle's hydrangeas. These are Hydrangea arborescens Annabelle. It is a pure white, July till October flowers. They're large. They really do well. They can be used for cut flowers once they have dried. You can prune them back, and you should prune these back to 6 to 8 inches each spring. That's 20 centimeters, and that's very important. They're hardy to zone 3B, and they're going to be about 125 centimeters by 125 centimeters. And then there's Invincible Spirit. This is another arborescens hydrangea. It's very hardy. It's got pink flowers all summer. And we do mean all summer. Hardy to zone 4. Again, it's 125 centimeters by 150 centimeters. Incredible hydrangea is another arborescens. This one has massive white blooms from midsummer till fall on strong stems. It has to have them just to hold the large heads up. The blooms start lime green and change to a white green. Hardy to zone 4. This one is extremely well named. It is incredible. 125 centimeters high by 100 centimeters wide. Then in the big leaf hydrangeas, we've got Hydrangea macrophylla blushing bride. Like this one, it's just cool. It is a hydrangea that blooms all summer. It's got mop heads, and it starts pure white and changes to a blush pink as they mature. So you're on the plant as they go along through the summer, you have both white and blush pink. Strong stems, dark green foliage. The flowers are excellent for cutting. Hardy to zone 5, 125 centimeters by 125 centimeters. The next one is Bloomstruck. This is part of the Endless Summer Hydrangea series. It is a Hydrangea macrophylla Bloomstruck. Trust me, I grow this one. I love it. Okay, talk about reliable, good looking, great plant, easy to look after. So it is one that I really do love and have fallen in love with. You can change this one from a vivid rose pink, which is its normal color that I have in my garden, to a purple hydrangea flower heads, okay, with the use of the soil pH by changing it down to more acidic. If you want the hydrangeas you prefer, try Parkwood, make it pink. This will help to make your hydrangeas pink instead, or more pink than blue. Or you can actually go and use the Parkwood, make it blue. Either way. So in other words, it moves, and it's easier to move in color. Also, it's a reddish purple stems, which contrasts with the nice dark green foliage. Zone 5, 125 centimeters by 150. In the Endless Summer Series, hydrangea is the original Macrophylla Endless Summer. Now, it's a mop head, Flowers on new and old wood. The large flowers are pink in alkaline soils, blue in acidic soils. Flowers all summer long, and you have to remove the spent heads to get that. Important. Zone 5 for hardiness, 125 centimeters by 125 centimeters. Endless Summer Twist and Shout. This one is a more compact hydrangea with the green foliage that turns red in the fall. Remember, we talk about foliage color and fall color. Got to have another season of interest. Blooms are pink to purple, flowers all summer long, depending on the pH. Hardy to zone 5, 125 centimeters tall, 100 centimeters wide. Now there is a new one. It is called Next Generation Pistachio. It is extremely well named. It is a reblooming mound type hydrangea. It has these really interesting, extraordinary flower coloration. How do I describe this? The center is pistachio green of each floret, and then there's a little bit of pink on the outside edge. So it's like those pink pistachios, okay? Hardy to zone 6, so it is got to have a good place in your garden. 100 centimeters tall, 125 centimeters wide. Another one that's hardy to zone 6 is called Light of Day Hydrangea. It is a macrophylla, dark green foliage, and it's splashed with white. The lace cap type flowers in the summer needs to be pruned back. Okay, so make sure you do deadheading as well. It'll be an interesting one to grow. It is fairly new. Let's Dance. I like the Let's Dance series. I've had success with them. There's a newer one called Blue Jangles. It is part of the Let's Dance series. It reblooms. It's compact. It has a rich blue or pink mophead flowers. It stands out in the garden and in containers because it's very strong branching. It has a desire, that would be the best way, to bloom regularly, continually. Rich blooms all through the summer. And if you want to make it blue, you use the parkwood, make it blue to the soil to encourage the blue color. Zone 5 hardiness, 90 centimeters by 90 centimeters. Yes, it's a little more compact. An older series of very proven winners hydrangeas is City Line. This is a series, and it's interesting in the fact that they're named after cities, except I don't know where the city of Mars is, so I haven't figured that one out yet. But anyways, the first one is Berlin. It's a macrophylla, Berlin. It's got clear pink. It's one of the largest flowers. It's long-lasting, and it changes to green with age. It's only hardy to zone 5B, 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. Compact. And then Mars. Let's do Mars. It's a small plant, strong stems, big magenta and white variegated flowers, and long-lasting, and they can change from magenta to red to blue with the addition of the aluminum sulfate. Flowers age into a green, so it could be a little interesting. Zone 5, 100 centimeters by 150 centimeters. Paris. Macrophylla. This is City Line Hydrangea Paris. Intense red flowers, showy blooms. Flowers are long-lasting and change to green with age. Hardy to zone 5, 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. And then we have Venice. City line Hydrangea Venice to Macrophylla. It's long-lasting bright fuchsia or blue flowers which change to green with age. The bloom color is dependent on the soil pH, of course, and the hardiness is to zone 5, 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. Vienna is a hydrangea in the City Line series. It is a macrophylla. It's the smallest of the series. It has dark pink flowers and a creamy colored throat. Hardy to zone 5, 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. It is the smallest. Now remember what I said about the oak leaf hydrangeas, that they are a native and that they've been doing some breeding for 50 years. So let's just go through a few of the oak leaf so that you can see what we're talking about when we say they've done a lot of breeding. Alice is the first oak leaf hydrangea. It's got large, leathery, oak-like leaves, no surprise. Large clusters of white flowers in July, which turn pink in August. The fall foliage is a brilliant burgundy and red. Nice, right? Color. So you're going to have these big cone-shaped flowers, and then you're going to have the fall color. Hardy to zone 5, 150 centimeters by 150 centimeters. Remember I recommended Gatsby Star? It was a newer one. It's got creamy white double blooms, and the whole panicle is pointed. It's really lacy, the panicle, and you're going to like this one because it adds a little bit of drama being a double. Hardy to zone 5, 175 centimeters by 175 centimeters. Not a little guy. The straight oak leaf hydrangea, this is more of the native one. It has clusters of white flowers in mid-July, turning pink in August. Large leathery oak-like green leaves which turn red-purple in October. Hardy to zone 5. It's 150 centimeters by 150 centimeters. Snow Queen hydrangea. A wide-spreading shrub, oak-like leaves, white flower clusters. Hardy to zone 5, 150 centimeters by 150 centimeters. Big one. Munchkin. So what do you think about this one? Okay, hopefully this one they got a little smaller, but not much. And it is a little smaller in the oak leaf hydrangeas. Its blooms open white and age to pink. They remain upright even after a heavy rain. So good strong stems. The foliage is a brilliant mahogany in the fall. It's compact, it's dense habit, it's not bad even as a hedge. So if you've got big room, you can try this one as a hedge. And of course, the flowers are large and clusters held above the dark green foliage. Hardy to zone 6. 100 centimeters by 125 centimeters. You're going to have to put this one in a protected location. Ruby slippers. Now, this is an oak leaf. It has dark green foliage, oak leaves. The blooms open white and very quickly age to deep pink, and are strong, robust, remain upright even after a heavy rain. The foliage is a brilliant mahogany in the fall. It's a little more compact. It's suited for a little smaller properties. It could be used in mass plantings, hedgings, and mixed borders. It is an introduction from the U.S. National Arboretum, Zone 6, 100 centimeters by 125 centimeters. So, if you think that that's just the bee's knees in hydrangeas, there's a lot more. I'm Bruce Zimmerman. This is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.